Hello, we're here with JR, and Mr. Blackmore here is a great guitarist. You might have heard the name. Yes, his father is in a few bands you might have heard of, Deep Purple, Rainbow, and now Blackmore's Night. But JR here is a man by himself, and he has his own style, and it's very exciting. And in his native Germany, he's become very popular, and hopefully around the world very soon.
I
Now,
hope so too.
okay, JR. So you're still playing with Tim on the drums, Martin on the bass, and Torsten on drums, correct?
On the keys.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, don't worry.
And yes, just as I said a minute ago, it's very reminiscent to your sound when he's playing. Destructive Mania, it starts
Destructive Mania,
one
yeah.
way and then you guys go full on Deep Purple, so I can feel those roots coming out.
Yeah, that is actually the whole album was made with Paul Morris was the keyboarder from that, and he also was my co-producer and songwriter with me together on the last album on the actually Voices album, and yeah, we done quite good with that one. And right now we started to work with starting a new album, and I'm not sure when it will be ready, but I think it comes to by the end of the year. That's what I think.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's always fun, and also you have to go through everything, and I don't know who will play on the instruments. Of course, my band, but I'm not sure if I drop in some great musicians also, or I put in some great singers. I don't know. This is something what I will decide immediately. When my feeling is in that way.
Your inspiration.
Yeah, that's what I would say. My inspiration has to be in this kind of, suddenly I think, oh, wait a minute, there's one guy I would like to ask, and I would do it like this way. And this is a little bit my freedom, what I'm actually like. And that's why, the album will take a little bit longer.
That's what rock and roll is about, freedom.
Yeah, of course. That's very true.
Yes, now, I see, of course, with Voices, which is a fantastic album, you've played with Marcus Engelstadter. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Oh, that's a little bit hard to pronounce, I think.
Yes, and of course. And I think if you really started to become popular here in the States, there are a few things that'd be instantaneous hits. We Are Rock and Roll, which is total anthem. It brings you back to almost Smoke on the Water, or
the good old days.
Yeah, or it can also be equated with like Stairway. It has that feel where it gets people pumped up. So I think that's where you know how to connect with an audience and get them excited about what you're doing.
Yeah. Right.
And of course, then beforehand, you had done a lot of instrumental work, and that's quite tasty.
Yeah, that's actually what I like to do sometimes, just take the guitar and just improvise something and play around something and let my thoughts in all ways open, just thinking and playing and don't know what you play, just play it and see what comes up.
Nothing happens if you don't try, right?
Of course, and sometimes this improvising stuff is more fun because that's also when sometimes I play together with Tony Carey, the ex-keyboard from my band.
Great.
I played with Tony sometimes, and he's doing the good old blues stuff, sometimes, and his own songs, they all based in blues. So I don't even know a song. I just go on stage and we do a jam session, and then we have fun, and that's something what really I like to do that, It's just, you don't know what's going on, what goes on the stage, and suddenly you're in. and then let's do something, and that's a real musician feeling, I think.
Hmm. Well, I've always had this one saying that when you're playing what the audience expects to hear, that's a good concert. When you play what you want to hear, that makes the great concert.
Yes,
You
of
have to
course, and
go with the
also,
flow
yeah,
with
and
the
I think
words.
also it depends on the audience themselves. Sometimes the whole concert is based on the audience. You can have really bad concerts because you don't get a vibe back from
Hmm.
something, and then you're in a different mode. You can't get up, you can't push yourself or bring up the 100% because this is something what is the whole concert is based on, let's say, passion and feedback and everything. So if the audience goes crazy, then the band too. So
Of
because then
course.
it's like a friendship. When your friend has fun and with you, then your fun is also, it brings it up. And yeah, and I think that's a very big point. And I had concerts all over the world, and yeah, I have to say it's interesting how different a concert can be.
Yeah, I've been to some concerts where you feel like falling asleep. On a
Yeah.
couple of guys, I have fallen asleep, but other guys, I've been up there giving the rock horns, and like you're
Yeah.
saying, that vibe going back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. And we are all humans, we you have not every day is the same day. Every day, every minute is different. So you don't know what's going on stage. And that's what I like. You go to a concert where everything is worked out, all the steps and every move. It's always the same. You go this concert in this city and the next day to the other concert, and it's always the same. uh,
Hmm.
it's not my taste. I don't. I like to go in a concert where every concert is different. I like it even if it one day really it sucks, and next day it's like totally amazing. It's like
Yeah.
you're freaking out because what is this? Is this the same band? And this is what I always find out when I was together with my band, my dad's band, like Deep Purple or Raymond, where I was on tour. It was exactly this kind of concerts. It was one day really, it was so bad because nothing happens. It was just like play the songs and I don't know, it was just nothing. And then it comes a concert where you totally freak out and you go like, wow, what was that? And yeah, and that's what I mean, exactly this kind of concerts.
That's great to hear because I've been to certain concerts with big bands, big names that are good, and you walk out and like, it was okay. But other
Mm.
times you're standing on your chair. So
Yeah,
yes, I
exactly.
understand from an audience perspective. Uh, okay. Now, you say that you're working on this new album. Are you going to do any instrumental on it, or do you think it's going to be mostly a vocal thing?
I'm really honest. I don't know now. I don't know it. I think it depends on how I feel when I'm writing. When I'm keep writing and go on and go on. Maybe I put something on what is instrumental. Maybe I make a mix. Maybe I have another singer on it. I don't know. I will see what's happening. And I would I would say it's it's a surprise. Let's see
Hmm.
by the end of
Now,
the
I
year.
would be remiss to one of my friends if I did not ask if you
Hmm.
wanted to come to the States and into Canada.
To Canada, yeah.
Yeah,
I would love
because
to go. It's always in these days it's different. You have mostly it's like all the travel costs are so high. A
oh yeah,
band has to go to let's say to a country, and all the stuff has to come there, and the whole band, and technical guys and
yes,
all these things. It's so hard. So you can't move over for one concert. So you have to make at least like let's say like 3 shows in a row. That all the costs are saved. Otherwise it's not possible.
all right, because you'd be
And that's
losing
why it's
money on
so
the
hard
deal.
in these days even to get American bands to, let's say, Europe, and Europe bands to America or Canada, because the flight cost and all the costs, it's too much.
Yeah, I could imagine
But
so.
I hope I will go to Canada. Let's see. Maybe we find a good guy who is interested in J.R. Blackmore band, and then we will see. Of course, I would love to play all over the world. It's a great, fantastic thing.
Hmm. Because I actually found you by accident. I was looking up Rainbow on YouTube one time,
Okay.
and Over the Rainbow came up, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this guy's kind of cool. I'd always heard of you as a guitar maker, but I had no idea you were actually in the business.
Okay.
And I was so pleasantly surprised by that. And that was about 2 years ago. And as you know, we've had interviews before. I go onto your site a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like up with what you're doing, and I'm in back of you 100%. And if I
thank
had
you.
a couple of million, I'd be throwing it your way to get you here.
Oh, thank you. Yes, nice. Maybe we make a big tent party or something.
Oh, yes. Like one of the festivals. I
Oh, yeah,
know
would be cool.
you play festivals over there in Europe. Like you played the Harley thing, and you were also playing at Triumph. Correct?
Yeah, I played no Triumph, not no that's somebody else. But anyway, I played at Super Rally, and I played at Harley Days. So that's the biker things, and it was great. It was all the people, they love the rock music, because handmade music. Everybody is standing on the stage, and it's real music. Everything is cool. So that's what people love, and me too. So that's why I'm standing there and have fun. And with these people, it was a great party, I have to say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ever since its start, there was something about motorcycles and rock and roll that went together.
Yeah, exactly.
All the way back to James Dean.
Yeah, cool combination. Anyway, we just came back from Czechoslovakia. We had some shows there, and so that's we're always somewhere. You play one month here and 1 month here, and let's see. I'm always in. If something happens, America or whatever, I like to go there. Let's see, make a big party. Make rock and roll on stage.
We'd love to have you.
Well, that's what we all want.
Yeah. Let me see. I was speaking to someone about Nanshu. They had just heard the song recently, and they happened to play World of Warcraft, and they're like, that's just like a boss battle. Yeah. And I said, let me see. Then I started playing Warcraft, and I'm like,
okay.
I put that song on. I'm like, wow, I see what they're talking about. It has that feel.
Exactly, yeah.
And as I understand, you appreciate a game here and there. So did that have any connection there? Were you thinking of gaming at that point, or at least the fantasy world?
I would say it comes up like what is in your mind at the day when I start writing a song like this. Nanshu was actually made because I wanted to do something in this kind of direction, because I'm a totally, let's say, a guy who loves all this fantasy stuff, and also I like World of Warcraft and all these games, I love that. And so sometimes I like to give it my thinkings, my feelings, what I have, into a song. And Nanshu is definitely one of those songs with all these, fantasy stuff, and you have this girl, with the wisdom ball in her hand, that's something what is typical, in this kind of things. And the good thing was actually that I had Ela. She's had this nice woman's voice, very, very, like she's a little bit like the nice person in this thing. And then we have Dave.
Yeah, she's like the mage.
Dark, yeah, exactly. And she is actually in the song, right? But and then we have Dave with this really deep bass plays, you know, and it had to be something like this, you know. So we came up with that, and actually in the end, when I heard it, I was totally stunned because it sounded so great, you know. And I done all the recordings, and I said exactly how I wanted, you know. So in the end, it was perfect, and I really was very happy about it. So yeah, and if you listen to the album is really different. Every song has its own personality. It's not like an album normally, where you have like 3 songs. You like the 3 songs, and the rest of the songs is just the filling material stuff. This is, you know, you listen to one song, and then they have different songs. They are completely in a different way, you know. They do something completely different. Especially it comes also from the singer, you know, because the different singers. That's a very important thing on that one too, of course. Well, because every singer brings his own personality into the song.
But I would suggest to anybody listening to this that they go out and buy it, because this ranks among classic albums. It puts you in mind of all the other famous albums people might have by hard rock bands and heavy metal bands. And I don't see anybody that would dislike that album if they like that style of music. And you're right, it doesn't have a lot of filler at all. It's solid. And
yeah, it's very, you know, it's... Every song has its own personality, and that's what I think it comes out. You know,
yeah, it's
and
a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing.
People will recognize that when they listen to it. They will see it's interesting to listen to the album.
I even find that in your instrumental work, Between Darkness and Light, there's no words, but you're painting a picture and telling me a story with your own guitar.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to do. I'm just sitting there and try to take over the vocals with my guitar and bring up a story. But for me, the most important thing on the album was to give everybody the freedom to use his own pictures for my music. So let's say I have Recall the Past, and then you can bring up your own pictures in your head. You just listen to you just take my music to use it as, you know, that it helps you up to bring the picture in your head. And that's what a lot of people told me. It's very interesting to listen to the album when you lay back in the chair and you close your eyes. Then you really get what I mean. If you are working in the house and you know, do something else, it's maybe not the right music, but because it's more based, you have to listen to it and really try to understand it. And
it's almost like a rock opera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Yes, I hope you do something similar in the future.
I actually started to work on that, and I know I have a lot of fans with Between Darkness and Light. I know, because a lot of people like this style when I just play the guitar. So many people are talking to me and say, "Hey man, what are you doing? It's amazing, always with this guitar. You know, you just let the guitar singing." And yeah, for me, it's not interesting to play technical stuff. I want to play the guitar. Just, you know, I want to have fun. I just play one note and leave the note singing. Let's say, you know, you hear one note and sometimes it just stands there and gives you a feeling, a vibe. You know,
you don't
sustain. Yeah, of course. And I don't want to give guitar lessons in a song. You know, it's not my stuff. What I want.
You know, there are other famous guitarists, and while they're good, sometimes they get boring because all they're doing are runs and riffing, and
of course.
They forget they're playing a song.
Actually, that's for me always the same. When you come over in this business that you are good on guitar, many people are always try to give guitar lessons in the song.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to say was from my dad's side really cool. He always had the main, let's say, the main point for him was always make the song good, so easy you can. And he always told me, you know what, the secret is make a song easy, that people can listen to it. And if you want to make a solo, or if you want to tell everybody how good you are, do it on stage. Then you can come up with the solo. But always use the song as a song, and leave the song, give him fresh air, so that it can breathe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Some of the most famous songs actually have very simplistic riffs.
Of course.
I mean, let's all go back to "Smoke on the Water." That's
exactly.
very simple.
And of course.
Highway Star.
Yeah.
But when I've seen you play that, what I liked is you took it in a different direction than your dad would have, and you brought new life to it. You might have even brought a new audience to the song.
Yeah, the point is, I don't want to step in my father's shoes. I even can't do it. But but it's like if you look around in the normal world, you have a father who has a son. He has got, maybe the father has got a factory, and what's happening? The son is, when he grows up, he's also working in the factory. I mean, that is a normal thing, because the son grows up on the side of his dad, and all what you learn in your life is exactly this. So what else? You can, of course, you can do different things, but that's something where you always be involved in, and so that's why you actually, I would say mostly it's like 90% that people are working in the father's factory, or do the same job or whatever. And I don't think it's bad, and nobody wants to compare the dad with his son or whatever. That's all bullshit, It's just like, if you have the let's say this musician feeling, or the music in your blood, and you want to do it, then do it. Even if you have thousands sons, or whatever. If the son wants to make the music, it's also with my daughter. If she wants to make music, I'm happy, because she can do it. But if not, it's up to her what she wants to do. But I wouldn't compare with anything. It's just like, let her do what she wants.
We're all a master of our own life.
Of course, everybody has got his own personality. And sometimes people forget that. They think, they see a big star, and that's, of course, my dad is a big star. But I don't want to, compare, or I don't want to fill his shoes. I don't want to, for me it was the point, when I did talk to many people in the world, everybody told me, you know what, I'm so sad. I always heard about Blackmore and, about this Rainbow and Deep Purple, but I never saw it. And I never listened to the music. I grew up, and my dad always played the albums, but I never saw this band. Mm-hmm. So that's why we came up with Over the Rainbow, because then, especially people, my dad wouldn't do anything with rock anymore, because he's happy with this music now, mm-hmm. and he don't want to make rock music. So the point is now, leave it in this kind, that nobody will ever hear anything from that kind of music, or put a band together and play the songs, what is at least the nearest you can get. And that was mm-hmm. the point of Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, was this your idea, or I actually heard that it might have been Joe's idea?
Yeah, it was definitely. It came from Joe and Tony, because actually they tried to bring up a band with in this direction. Mm-hmm. And then Joe always said, no, I don't want to do this, without a Blackmore on guitar, because it makes no sense to make Rainbow or Deep Purple without Richie Blackmore. And then Joe suddenly thought about me, because we knew each other from many shows and touring. And so he suddenly, he said, wait a minute, there's Jürgen, maybe what's about him? And he asked me, and in the first moment I said, never, I wouldn't do that. Because, I don't want to be in the shoes of my dad and stay on stage
sure.
and, copy Mr. Blackmore. I mean, how stupid is this? So actually
There's
I
enough guys
say,
that do that in the world.
yeah, but first of all, I said no. And then he tried to ask me again, and then I said, okay, give me some time. So then I did talk to my dad. And he said, oh, of course you can do that. I mean, why not? And it's cool. And so we started, and in the end, we started it. And actually, I was very happy because we started in Russia. And the audience really appreciated that what I've done, and they put up signs like "Thank you, Jürgen," and that was exactly what I wanted. Actually, I just wanted to have fun and bring it over to the people and give them the feeling that they can listen to this music again live with the nearest thing they can get.
But what I liked was how you transitioned from that. You grabbed attention that way, but then you said, hey, okay, that's cool, but here's me. Here's what I can do. And that's when you started putting out your own albums. Of course, you had an album or two out before that. Yeah. But I think since Over the Rainbow, you've gotten a bigger audience around the world.
And of course, yeah, right. Yeah.
I think people are happy to say, hey, this guy's good all by himself. And sure, they love Purple, they love Rainbow, but they love Jürgen right now, too. It's apples and oranges,
Yeah, I just, for me, music is my life. I just want to play. I want to have fun. I want to have a big party. And for me, it's always great if I can stay on stage and, make a big party with the audience together. I'm a very happy person on stage. I'm in a different
mode. It shows in your videos.
My dad, yeah. So from the beginning on, I wanted to play things different. I didn't want to copy something. Sometimes people say, oh, he plays the riff completely different. I don't care. I wanted it. I did wanted exactly these things, because if I copy my dad, how stupid is this? I mean, my dad is copied by 300,000 other people. They are doing this every weekend. Everybody looks like my dad. He plays the guitar like him. And they call himself Blackmore, whatever. I don't care. It's okay for these guys because they also a fan. But I don't want to be in this row, of copying my dad. How stupid is this?
I don't want to copy my dad either.
No, exactly. Who wants this? So I did from the first day. I didn't want it to do that. I said, no, you know what, guys? I play it like I want. And I really tell you, Joe and everybody was very happy with that, because they all said it's perfect when you have your own personality, you play it like you want. Don't give a shit how it was played before. My dad, most of the people doesn't even know that my dad played his own songs nearly in every concert completely different. The riff was played sometimes backwards, forwards.
I noticed
it's
that,
different.
Yeah.
So who can say, he has to play the song like this and this and this? That's all rubbish. Just play something, bring out the music, let's have a big party, and that's all you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal, where I want to go.
Well, I do appreciate you dropping by. It was lovely talking to you. And I wish you luck on the new album that you're working on. And I urge everybody that's listening to buy the one that's out now, Voices One, and of course all your previous work. And I would also tell them to go to www.jrblackmore.com and also to like you on Facebook.
Exactly, it would be nice. I hope to see some more fans now.
Rock on, man.
Okay, rock on, man.